Now, an important one for me, and it's close at heart to me, it's the leadership of organizations. They obviously play a critical role. In any organization, you have a leader of some sort. There's a specific reason, for example, why a CEO is appointed to take the helm of an organization. He or she is usually appointed by the management board to be accountable for the performance of the organization. This performance is obviously the main objective and also the CEO's objective to develop, implement strategies to achieve this main objective. Conventional leaders still use old strategic approaches, where more contemporary leaders are applying the latest management sciences, and that's something I want to share quickly with you in the form of a total quality management philosophy. It relies heavily on employees, and specifically employees' hidden capacities to take ownership and drive innovation in all systems in the business to improve customers' expectations. Now, it's nothing new, but it's still not evident in the majority of the companies and organizations that certainly I've got to work for and had to consult with. An old bureaucratic strategic approach is simply not effective anymore, and it does not allow for the flexibility to adjust to fast changing environments. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is, again, hopefully by now you got the trend that, in business, it should look like this. Yes, not all businesses are looking like it, but certainly in political parties, for them to be effective as an organization, you should be seeing at least the same traits. Now, if you don't, then why would you be investing in it? Now, and we've had this slide up previously in previous podcasts, but I want to reiterate this. For me, it's important that leaders are able to and are competent to create a psychological climate. Now, again, organizations tend to fail quite easily at this, but you have to, when you look at the slide, realize that innovation is right at the top of it, and innovation is the thing that actually brings you competitiveness. Again, maybe I'm missing it, but I haven't seen innovation in political parties being the standout priority. Simple things like trust, again, playing a big role in political parties. We've seen people jumping from one party to another because of the failure of trust. Specifically, people are not maybe as honest as they should be. The competence might lack a bit. Reliability, good judgment, that brings consistency might also be lacking. In terms of loyalty, people tend to be more loyal to a brand because of traditional and historical ideology. I think it's something we have to be honest about. It's outdated by now. It's not serving any purpose. One has to create something new in order to create a better performance for the country. Now, other things like cohesion, we know that political parties, in terms of the way that they work together, can be improved in terms of the way that they collaborate, and then I'll touch a little bit later on the reasons why I think that is lacking. The support, where I think the perception of the tolerance of member behavior by superiors, so it's what we see in the media, certainly from leading political parties. It seems like there's a lack of support, to themselves, and it also looks like they're supporting their political party before they support the governance of the country. Things like recognition, fairness, and pressure. Those are the considerations you can think about for yourself. The point I want to make is a couple of things that's in there that you have to take into consideration when you look at, again, your political party. Questions you should be asking: what is a specific political party's leadership strategic approach? Is it bureaucratic? Is it more lean towards total quality management? What is the psychological climate that they create for their organization themselves? Are they just dictators? And are they reflecting, something that you want to resonate with? And I think we all got the luxury to be in a democratic country, so you can express yourself in the vote. So these leaders, if they have a bureaucratic leadership style, that's probably exactly the same thing that they're going to carry over into the governance of the country. Is that something that resonates with you? And if it does, it's fine. There's no right or wrong here. But it's certainly something that you have to consider. If bureaucratic leadership style are not bringing you the performance of an organization, then normally those bureaucratic leadership are being changed with different types of leadership. More participative type of leadership that can actually create that organizational culture where people want to thrive, they want to make a contribution, they want to be a part of it. Now, you probably sat there and wondered, but this boytjie's views, some of it is relevant, some of it is, doesn't resonate with you. But you're wondering what is my view in terms of race, gender, religion, all these things that often gets played off in the political arena to create leverage. Now, and this is my humble view, it's not something that's based on any principles. It is just my simple view. So I'm putting it out there. My view is that these mechanisms are used very successfully to create division in all walks of life, not only politics. In successful organizations, I've seen it that leaders have managed to use this diversity, these different components of diversity, gender, race, religion, to build a culture of respect and trust, which I agree is by no means easy. It's a tough thing to do, but it can be done, especially if it works for everyone and it becomes that beautiful product for employees to enjoy. It's something that people tend to resonate with. In fact, without the full or the potential of total quality management, the full potential can't be reached. You have to apply a certain philosophy in line with total quality management perspective, where you respect your employees, to be that innovators who can actually drive the improvement. TQM organizations have made it clear they need as much diverse people as it can employ. One looks at the Springbok team, and it's now well accepted that diversity in the Springbok team is one of the key ingredients of the Springbok's success as back-to-back world champions. They're led by a very special leader in Siya Kolisi, who has embraced this understanding of it's not about him, and it's not even about the Springboks, it's about the country. And if we can get that type of understanding through the political arena and get that entrenched, I think we can go a long way. So diversity has always been a tool, my view again, to keep people divided, and it's very effective. Simply because of that reason, people are being kept apart. They spend focus and energy on telling each other who's right and who's wrong. If I want to take the religious component, literally thousands of religions, well, countrywide and also globally, but they all believe they are right. Ironically, they're all representing a value system that they want to look after their own. And you'll find even division in the same religion. So it's not a guarantee. Even if they want to look after themselves, it's no guarantee that religion can actually achieve that. I'm not knocking any religion for that matter. I'm just talking about religion in essence. So no religion in my mind is going to not create division. It's by design, it's going to create division. The same applies for gender, same applies for race, or any group that's formed by like-minded people. Even bands, music bands that play together, they make nice music together up to a point. When they start getting divided in their opinions, that becomes the end of the band. We think of big bands that's gone through that same thing. So maybe it's not a question about who's right and who's wrong. Maybe religion is, part of that challenge, a challenge for humankind to overcome and discover that we are all souls created by one creator, whatever you call that creator, and that we all subscribe to some sort of a value system that cares for each other. So if you look at the common denominator, that common denominator is always that people, through their religion, wants to care for their own. But at the same time, it creates division the moment you start oppressing, others because they don't believe what you believe. And unfortunately, in most cases, this division has very often caused wars, genocides, and various others results, maybe not as bad as war, but certainly things like segregation, which we're used to and which we've grown up in, which certainly doesn't make anything work better. I just don't get it. As somebody that grew up in that segregation, I don't get it. We should be able to work together despite the color of your skin, your belief system. But I'm hopeful that this is going to change very soon. I think there's a general awareness. Now, if we look at ourselves as souls, and look at the soul next to you, regardless of what job he or she does, regardless of skin color, religion, political inclination, or anything like that, then we all of a sudden we don't have gender issues, we don't have race issues, we don't have religious issues. If we remove all of these things from our minds, we start to think of think of life differently. We think of each other differently, and we start respecting each other. And guess what? All these mechanisms or leverages for division becomes null and void. It won't work anymore. I think if we appreciate everybody is a soul that actually goes through life for a specific reason to evolve, regardless again of your upbringing, your skin color, because I think I still have to find the guy that can select his own skin color at birth. So if I can't select who I want to be born as, or I can't select when I want to die and how I'm going to die, then we pretty much have to agree that there's something that's not in our control, and that's what we have to respect. Again, my humble point of view. All right, so a lot of things to digest. Sorry to get philosophical over this point, but just something to think about, something to put out there. I know it's got probably nothing to do with politics, but I suspect there's a lot of these hidden things in our subconscious that is actually playing out at that time when we put our cross next to a political party.